This is big breaking emergency news. We are now seeing Israel strike Iran. This just happened in the past few hours. This is an emergency alert that's going out, and this video is being recorded late at night because this is happening late at night. That's how this big news is. While we are sleeping, World War III is breaking out overseas, right? And that's what's happening right now. Israel is striking Iran and Syria. So let's get into the details here. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on this big breaking news. All right, so you can see here, this is a live situation. The bombing is currently going on, and we're getting live updates of what's happening from the media. All right, so you can see here it says Israel has carried out a military strike in Iran, a source told NBC News. Earlier, Israeli officials notified U.S. officials that a response was coming. All right, Iran's state media reports that air defense systems were engaged in several provinces and that nuclear sites in Isfahan in central Iran are safe. All right, so Israel has been saying that they're going to target their nuclear facilities, and Iran is saying in response that they are going to target Israel's nuclear facilities as well. So if we see one of these attacked, this could potentially be like a nuclear disaster happening in one of these countries, right? And the U.S. is vowing to help Israel and defend Israel from these attacks. This video was just posted on NBC News. I want you guys to listen to what these reporters are giving an update on right now.
Rejoining our coverage now is NBC News Pentagon and National Security Correspondent Courtney Kuby. Courtney, do we have anything more?
Yeah, so we can now say, Lawrence, that according to a source familiar, Israel did carry out an operation inside Iran tonight. Now, we still don't have a lot of details, including how they carried this out. But again, as we've been saying, Iranian state media has reported that there have been a number of explosions in the Isfahan area. Now, I should say, just because this was an Israeli operation, we don't have to assume that that means that Israeli warplanes flew into Iranian airspace. The Israeli military has a number of what are called standoff weapons. They have the ability to fire from far away, so they would not put pilots or even some of their unmanned systems in any kind of danger to carry out some sort of a strike or some sort of operation like this. Again, we're still working on exactly what the Israelis used to carry this out. But we can now report that, in fact, the Israelis did carry out an operation in Iran tonight. Now, in addition to that, we are told that the Israeli officials informed the U.S. of their intention to carry out a response in the coming, not necessarily imminently, but today they did tell them they were planning to do that without putting an exact idea of exactly when it would happen. Again, the Israelis did inform the U.S. of this in advance. Now, why that's so critical is that April 1st strike that the Israeli military took in Damascus, killing those senior Iranian officials, there has been, the U.S. has said openly and often that they were not notified of that in advance. And in fact, the U.S. was told about this one. We don't know about all the details, exactly how much fidelity the U.S. had on this, but they were told by the Israelis in advance.
All right, so you heard that there, that these attacks have been confirmed, and they're reporting that these were most likely long-range missiles and drone attacks. They're saying that they most likely did not send any fighter jets over Iranian airspace, and that's the same thing that Iran did. They did not send any jets. They just sent drones and missiles and potentially some ICBMs, because some of these missiles over Israel last week were intercepted in the upper atmosphere, and they were exploding in very weird ways, right? So this is something that's happening right now. This is live. We're seeing attacks on Iran, and they're saying that nuclear facilities haven't been hit, but we don't know that for sure. They could just be saying that to save face right now. but they could also not have been hit, right? Which would be a good thing because we do not want this escalation to continue. Pray for peace in this situation right now. This is escalating and we could get into a tit for tat situation. Let me give you guys some updates on what's going on here on the situation. All right. This strike actually took place on the supreme leader of Iran's birthday, right? So it's actually his birthday today, April 19th. And this is when these attacks have taken place in Iran, right? They're also saying the Tehran airport flights have been suspended, right? And we're seeing a stop of air traffic around this area, all right? There's not many flights going on over Iraq, Syria. This is similar to what it looked like during the Israel attack, is that there was no real air traffic over Iraq and Western Iran, all right? So flights have been suspended, and we could see flights impacted globally and delayed as this has to cycle through all the delays that are happening now. All right. You can also see here it says Tehran has vowed, quote, decisive, definitive, and regretful response before the strike. It says Iran's foreign minister issued a stern warning to the Israeli government earlier today. In an interview with CNN, the Hussein Amir Abdullahian, right, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, cautioned that Iran's response to any attacks from Israel would be, quote, decisive, definitive, and regretful. And he said, quote, we do not seek to create tensions and crisis or increase situations in the Middle East, and we sincerely hope the Israeli regime does not repeat this egregious error. All right, so we're moving into this tit for tat situation, right? And Iran said that they would potentially respond 10 times more than they responded before with this attack last week. They're saying it's going to be 10 times more drones and missiles that will hit Israel in response to this hit on Iran. So pray for peace right now. We are getting dragged into World War III. The U.S. said they will defend Israel, and the U.S. has already been in direct conflict with Iran shooting down their missiles and drones, right? We're already think about it. They've never done this for Russia or anything like that. The U.S. Navy destroyers or planes or anything like that have never intercepted a Russian missile to protect Ukraine. But right now, the U.S. shot down hundreds of Iranian drones and missiles just last week. All right, so this conflict is escalating quickly, and we're already kind of in a proxy war with Iran right now. Okay, and you can see here the U.S. was not directly involved with the strikes, okay, but they said that they will participate in defending Iran, okay? And you can also see here that members of Congress are starting to post reactions on social media of what they think. All right, it says Senator Marco Rubio from Florida said, quote, hearing Khamenei have a blast today on his birthday, right? And he's referring to this, it's his birthday, right? That's what Senator Marco Rubio is saying apparently. And Rick Scott's saying that he, quote, stands with Israel, right? So let's hope that this doesn't escalate. And we know that there are people in Congress that are itching for World War III right now, okay? You can see here it says Rep. Richie Torres pointed to Iran's drone and missile launches against Israel and Iran's financial support of Hezbollah and Hamas. He said, quote, Israel has a right to defend itself from both direct and indirect forms of Iranian aggression. And Rep. Nancy Mace said and expressed support for Israel while also attacking President Biden and praising former President Trump. She said, quote, no one would have ever tested Trump the way they walk over Biden like he's irrelevant. All right, that's something that's probably true. Okay, it's probably harsh but true that this situation probably wouldn't have happened. These things like this, there were these peace deals in the Middle East that were being talked about and coordinated and laid out between these countries, and that kind of all flew out the window the past few years, and the situation is worse than ever. And it is true that other countries think America is weak, and they're taking advantage of our weakness right now. All right, and we are vulnerable. Right, we're still America. We still have highly advanced military capabilities and advanced spending on military equipment and hardware. We have the largest military budget in the world by far. But we do have vulnerabilities, and there are weaknesses, and other countries are taking advantage of them. Right? And part of that is weak leadership that's happening right now as well. All right, it says there's 2 new updates on this page. Let's see what's going on. All right, you can see here it says that Israel carried out a limited military strike against Iran and is currently assessing the strike's effectiveness and the damage caused. A source familiar with the situation told NBC News. The strike was carried out in the early hours of Friday local time. An Israeli Defense Force spokesperson declined to comment on reports of the strike. It says the spokesman said that at this time there's no changes to guidelines for Israel's civilian population, right? And countries are warning their citizens to get out of Israel right now. I saw Australia warning their citizens to get out of Israel. Maybe that's in CNN over here. They also have reporting on what's going on here, okay? Iranian state media reports no major disruptions to infrastructure, all right, in Isfahan. That's one of their major cities along with Tehran, okay? And it says flights en route to Tehran return to Dubai, right? So things are starting to go back to normal. Apparently, this is a live situation, but flights have been shut down for the past few hours while these attacks have been happening. It says U.S. Defense Secretary spoke with Israeli Defense Minister earlier Thursday before Israel attacked Iran. All right, so hopefully this is limited and is not going to create a tit-for-tat situation. But that's even what experts are warning of. All right, and Australia is even warning their citizens to get out of the situation right now. All right, you can see here it says Australia urges citizens to leave Israel after strikes on Iran. It says the Australian government Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade urged its citizens in Israel to, quote, depart if it's safe to do so. They said, quote, there's a high threat of military reprisals and terror attacks against Israel and Israeli interests across the region. It says the security situation could deteriorate quickly, and we urge Australians in Israel or the occupied Palestinian territories to depart if safe to do so, according to a post on the Smart Traveler account on X. All right. They also said the department warned that, quote, military attacks may result in airspace closures, flight cancellations, and diversions and other travel disruptions. And they said it is concerned that Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion airports may pause operations due to heightened security concerns at any time and at a short notice. You can see here as well that experts are warning that this escalation could result in a tit-for-tat that eventually gets to a destructive level. All right, they're saying, quote, the gloves have come off, and they're saying strikes against Iran early Friday is just the latest in an intensifying and uncertain series of attacks in the Middle East. It says, should a tit-for-tat between Israel and Iran develop, the conflict between the nations threatened to get, quote, very grim very quickly, an international relations expert told CNN. Quote, the gloves have come off. Iran's response is unpredictable, said Bloomberg senior editor Bobby. Gosh, right? Iran could choose to target Israel through proxies in Lebanon and Iraq, as well as with the help of Hamas in Gaza and with the Houthi military groups in Yemen, right? It says Friday's strikes have pitched the conflict into, quote, unknown territory. It says, quote, with the escalation of risk taking, there's always a chance that the next step up is going to be the step too far. All right, so this is big. Israel has never attacked Iran before directly. This has never happened. This is history making. This is World War III starting right in front of our eyes right now. And also, Iran has never attacked Israel as well. So both of these things have never happened. Both of these history-making events have happened in the past week, and this is a major escalation. And Iran is saying that they are going to attack Israeli nuclear facilities in response to this attack. All right, so this is big. And they're even saying here why Israel's strike on Iran threatens to push the Middle East deeper into conflict. All right, this is what we're on the edge of right now, and everybody needs to be praying for peace. Okay, they're saying that the nuclear facilities are safe right now, and let's hope that's true, because we don't want to have a nuclear disaster and have radiation fallout spreading across the Middle East right now, which is something that could happen in Israel potentially soon as well. Right, so this is big, and this is a live situation. This just happened a few hours ago, and please, really quick, just hit that like, hit that subscribe. It really helps to get these videos out and to get these notifications out so people know what's going on. Because think of all these cyber attacks and all these stuff we've seen just today in the past 24 hours. If you've seen my videos I've posted earlier today, all right, I'll link them down below for you guys. There's been major cyber attacks, major disruptions, blackouts, internet blackouts, all the stuff going on, right? All the stuff going on. And this could be related. They could have known that these attacks are coming in advance, and we've seen these cyber attacks hit all at the same time, right? So this could all be related. I'm not saying that it is, but it definitely seems like it could be. And the situation, the timing of this is very suspicious and peculiar, with all the different internet outages, internet blackouts, emergency services outages. All these things have happened today in multiple states all over the country. Nationwide disruptions of critical services and critical infrastructure, all at the same time that these attacks are happening, right? So could be a coincidence, but it's probably not. And we could see these attacks get even worse. So make sure you guys are prepared and ready, stocked up, have your prepper pantry ready to go. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate that. I know it's a late night video, but this is a live situation, and everyone needs to be praying for peace right now. We're dealing with biblical stuff is going on. All right, we're dealing with biblical things. There's a lot of major warnings, major escalations, all these things going on around the world. The timing of it, it's all coming together. All right, so get prepared. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.